A new landlord incentive program in Pittsburgh aims to increase affordable housing options in the city. How some area teachers have been dealing with an increased workload because of the pandemic.
Donald Trump and Joe Biden take the debate stage for the second and final time. I'm Skyler Henry in Nashville with a look at what to expect tonight.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Pittsburgh is trying to get more affordable housing as the nation faces an eviction crisis. This is KOAM News at 5. Data by the Aspen Institute shows more than 100,000 Kansans are at risk of being evicted due to the pandemic. So the city of Pittsburgh is trying to get more landlords interested in their subsidized housing program. They started a landlord incentive program that'll repay landlords $1,000 for repairs if they take part in their Section 8 rental assistance program.
A lot of times, if the amount is over $300, $400, $500 of repairs, a landlord will generally decline the repair. And so our hopes are that with this subsidy that we will be able to offset some of those costs and recruit new landlords to the program.
Landlords must agree to participate in the Section 8 rental assistance program for a year to be eligible. Tonight at 6, we're going to hear from a local landlord to see how much of an impact this might make. As students and teachers continue to settle into the new school year, some teachers are also settling into a bigger workload. 2 teachers we spoke with at Joplin High School say they've seen their workload double. They say it's because they have to plan lessons further in advance for online students, and they have to repeat some lessons in the classroom for the alternating A/B days.
Kind of the day-to-day tasks have doubled. Because you have to keep track of the kids that are at home and the kids that are here. And then when a student, for example, goes on quarantine, then you have a whole other set of details really you have to track. Where's that student? When are they coming back? What have I already sent them? What do they need?
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from Boyer and another teacher in the school on the pros and cons of the current situation. Doug Heddy joins us now. Another warm October day, Doug.
Yeah, we got quite a bit warmer yesterday and then significantly warmer on top of that for us today as we have shot well into the 80s for highs. Very warm, very windy. We've had mostly sunny skies, but of course, when you warm up this much, this deep into the fall, you know we're going to have some changes rolling in. We have a storm system that is brewing across the northern parts of the plains, and this will start to affect us later on tonight. We're going to stay warm through the evening hours. Showers, even a few thunderstorms, will start to develop in our western counties late this evening and then start to push through during the overnight hours tonight. You can see our temperatures dropping back through the 60s by morning, and then everybody will plummet into the 40s tomorrow. So we're looking at a 40-degree swing in the next 24 hours. Of course, we're going to break this down for you here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. The Senate Judiciary Committee today voted yes on President Trump's Supreme Court nominee. The Democrats on the committee boycotted the vote on Judge Amy Coney Barrett's nomination, calling it a sham process during an ongoing election. All 12 Republicans supported sending Barrett's nomination to the full Senate. Today, the presidential candidates are in Nashville, Tennessee, to square off in the debate stage one last time. Reporter Skyler Henry is there with a look at what to expect.
The stage is set in Tennessee at Belmont University for President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden's final debate before Election Day.
Hopefully he's going to play by the rules.
The Commission on Presidential Debates has instituted new procedures for tonight, including a mute button to ensure a smoother event, despite pushback from the president's campaign.
We thought that this was a way to give a little discipline, which they already agreed to, into it, and so hopefully people could get more out of it rather than watching a mud fight.
The debate topics were chosen by the moderator, NBC's Kristen Welker, and they cover a range of issues. The candidates are taking the stage tonight as tens of millions of Americans have already cast their ballots, including here in Tennessee, where there's been record turnout since early voting began last week.
I've already voted.
Nick Quayara is supporting former Vice President Biden.
Definitely not happy with what Trump's done in terms of just, creating a divisiveness right now.
People have a problem with his tone. I don't.
Bob Appleby voted for President Trump, who was also his choice in 2016.
Well, I think he's done a good job. He's kept his promises. He's built the border wall.
Despite their support for opposing candidates, both Nick and Bob say they're hopeful the country will come together once the election is over. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Nashville.
You're going to be able to watch the debate here on KOAM starting at 8 p.m. That brings us to today's KOAM News Now Instapoll. Today's question is, which side will benefit most from the mute button, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? You can participate in the poll at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to check in on the numbers later in this newscast. In an unprecedented move, President Trump posted a video online of his interview with 60 Minutes journalist Leslie Stahl. The president walked out of the interview and says the full tape will show that Stahl tried to trap him. CBS News released a statement saying the released interview shows disregard of the White House agreement with CBS News and that this will not deter 60 Minutes from providing its full, fair reporting, which presidents have participated in for decades. You can see the 60 Minutes story on KOAM TV Sunday following football. Still ahead, how anonymous artist Banksy became one of the most sought-after artists of modern times. And next in Health Watch, details on an FDA meeting on the development of a potential coronavirus vaccine. Researchers testing the drug Actemra as a treatment for COVID-19 found it does not ease symptoms or prevent death. The medication is commonly prescribed for rheumatoid arthritis, and earlier research suggested it might be an effective treatment for moderately ill hospitalized COVID patients. The study in the New England Journal of Medicine found no benefit. Researchers say they found a way to predict new COVID-19 hotspots through analyzing Google web searches for coronavirus symptoms. A study at the Mayo Clinic says by using internet surveillance, the team was able to identify outbreaks even before the first cases were reported. The race to develop a coronavirus vaccine took center stage at an FDA public meeting today. Laura Podesta reports on that and the rising cases.
Amid a citywide spike in COVID-19, students in Boston public schools went online only Thursday to help reduce the risk of close contact exposure. The development came as the CDC recently changed its close contact definition to include being with an infected person for 15 minutes total during a 24-hour period, not just 15 consecutive minutes.
If you have iterative interactions within that 6 feet, even if it's not 15 minutes unbroken, that you might also be a close contact.
Public health officials in the U.S. reported more than 62,000 new cases of the virus Wednesday, and the nation's one-day death toll topped 1,000 for the first time in nearly a month.
1, 2, 3.
As frontline workers fight to save lives, the state of Wisconsin reported 48 COVID deaths yesterday, its highest single-day death toll.
This community, these patients, these families that are being affected by this, that's what I'm fighting for.
Cases of COVID-19 are now surging in more than 75% of the country, putting a spotlight on the race to develop a safe and effective vaccine. Nearly 8 months into the pandemic, a panel of experts advising the FDA met virtually for the first time Thursday to discuss what's being developed.
A vaccine is only as good also as it is the ability to produce it in sufficient numbers.
Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar says hope is on the way in a matter of weeks or months.
We believe by the end of this year we would have enough FDA-authorized vaccine to vaccinate our most vulnerable people by the end of January.
Secretary Azar estimates a vaccine will be available for all Americans by next spring. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
A new study out of Columbia University suggests at least 130,000 coronavirus deaths could have been prevented if the U.S. had responded to the virus as well as other high-income countries. A new study published in the British Medical Journal finds the use of steroid inhalers or tablets to treat asthma increased the risk of brittle bones and fractures. Doctors say prolonged use and higher doses made the risk even higher. Eating foods like turkey rich in tryptophan may help patients with celiac disease. A study in McMaster University finds the amino acid combined with probiotics may help relieve symptoms and improve intestinal healing. Tryptophan is also found in chocolate, bananas, and certain vegetables. Let's check back in with our KOAM News Now Instapoll. Again, our question today is which side will benefit most from the mute button in the debate tonight? At this point, 20% say Donald Trump, 80% say Joe Biden. You can join in the conversation by voting at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. A little bit later, a look at the Labor Department's numbers for unemployment claims last week.
Plus rain and colder temperatures working right back in. We're going to look at that coming up next. Well, of course, it turned out to be a much warmer day for us today. We warmed up yesterday, and then we really kind of piled onto that once again for us today. Mostly sunny skies across the region. That's the way it sits right now, and that's what we're going to see as we work through the evening hours well into the 80s, kind of a strong southerly wind. Currently outside, we sit into the 80s, 83 degrees. South winds at about 20. Humidity is at 47%, but everybody's warmed up. 83 in Carthage, 81 in Granby, Seneca 82. Pittsburgh is sitting at 84. It's 83 in Miami, and you can see the entire four-state area seeing this. 81 from Cassville, and then Yates Center at 83 degrees, so well above where we should be for this time of the year. Strong southerly winds kicking in at about 15 to 20, even gust a little bit higher than that. We've been getting winds gusting at times 30 upwards to about 35 miles per hour. So warm, windy. We're going to stay very mild through the evening hours, but eventually later on tonight, a cold front's going to roll through, and that's going to really change things up for us. Just not yet. We have clear skies across the region. You can see this storm system developing across the northern parts of the plains. This is going to start to affect us, and then you can see the cold front just to the northwest of the I-35 corridor, and as that front approaches, we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms getting going along the front, which we are already seeing, and as that front works in, it will also drag in those showers and thunderstorms a little bit later on tonight. So let's go to 10 p.m. The front's working in some scattered showers, a few scattered thunderstorms, increasing mainly after midnight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So you can see really our southern counties upper 60s, mid counties upper 50s, northern counties down into the 40s. As we go through the morning, here's 8:30 in the morning, scattered showers and thunderstorms. I think by this time, everybody's going to be dropping back into the 40s. And then we'll have showers continue into the early afternoon. And then I think by mid to late afternoon, we'll just have cloudy skies across the region, but a big switch. So at about 7 a.m., about 50, we'll drop to 43. We should rebound to about 47. Those north winds at 10 to 20, so a big change for us over the next 24 hours. Clouds stick around tomorrow night. We drop into the mid-30s. We're going to have frost across the region. Saturday, mostly cloudy skies. I think a little bit warmer as we should go into the mid-50s for highs. Now rainfall tonight into tomorrow, not a ton, but we'll take what we can get. I think a lot of areas, a quarter, maybe 3/10 of an inch. So a quarter of an inch to 3/10 of an inch, which, hey, we'll definitely take. All right, let's go into Sunday. Sunday starts out okay. We'll get near 60. Rain increases again. Late Sunday, rain lasts into Monday. This wave pulls out. It continues to get cold. Let's go into Tuesday. Rain mixing with sleet, maybe even some snow by the time we head into Tuesday. So just kind of a wild ride over the next week. 47 tomorrow afternoon, down to 36. Only 53 on Saturday. 62 on Sunday, but rain increasing again. Only 42 for a high on Monday with rain. Rain and sleet on Tuesday, a high of only 38. So, I mean, just much, much colder temperatures over the next week.
Yeah, we're going from summer-like temperatures to winter-like temperatures, just like that.
It'll be 40 degrees colder tomorrow at this time.
Wow, no time for fall to squeeze in there. Thanks, Doug. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about today's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can get severe weather updates and more sent straight to your phone, and it doesn't cost a thing. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Historic wildfires are tearing across Colorado. The fast-moving east troublesome fire about 100 miles north of Denver has been burning around 6,000 acres an hour. The fire is just one of several burning across Colorado. The Cameron Peak fire near Fort Collins. It's been burning for more than 2 months, and it is now the largest in Colorado history. The borders of the two fires are only 10 miles apart. Officials worry they'll come together to create one giant inferno more than 300,000 acres in size. Coming up, the latest unemployment numbers from the Labor Department. First, though, we honor a local veteran. William Robert Vance served in the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam War. His hometown, Webb City, Missouri. And we salute Sergeant First Class William Robert Vance, a four-state hero. Another 787,000 people signed up for unemployment benefits last week, but that was much better than expected and a sharp improvement from the prior week. Meanwhile, the Labor Department says filings for pandemic unemployment assistance topped 345,000. A test run of a digital health passport took off on United Airlines yesterday. The digital health dossier houses COVID-19 test results for passengers. Travelers who volunteered for the trial take coronavirus tests up to 72 hours pre-flight and then input their results on what's called the Common Pass app. If the trial does well, the digital health pass is expected to roll out to more airlines. Banksy proves again that he's an artist to bank on. His most recent painting, To Go Under the Hammer, is the second most expensive piece the artist ever sold. Reporter Ian Lee has more.
At first glance, it looks like a Monet, down to the lily pads. But things aren't always what they seem. This is a Banksy.
We have arrived at Show Me the Monet, one of the most important paintings of Banksy's provocative career.
Sotheby's in London auctioned off the painting.
I'm going to start the bidding at $2,500,000.
Bidders around the globe quickly ran up the price. This auction comes a year after another Banksy painting of the British Parliament replaced by chimps smashed his record, selling for more than $12 million.
Banksy is today one of the most sought after artists. He's really made that step from being a much loved figure in popular culture to actually being one of the most desirable collectible artists of our times.
This auction didn't disappoint. Show Me the Monet sold for plenty of Monet.
Selling to you, Patty, at £6,400,000.
While it didn't break his record, it sold for nearly $10 million. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
The current pandemic hasn't slowed down the artist either. He recently confirmed a new piece in England of a girl with a hula hoop. And earlier this year, he sprayed the tube in London with his famous rats shooting green snot, highlighting the need to wear a mask. A survey from FrontierBundles.com revealed the most scream-worthy villains across the U.S. Frankenstein monster was the top overall. The classic character was the most searched in nearly a dozen states. Scream's Ghost Face was second, and Chucky from Child's Play rounded out the top three most notorious. Final check of the forecast next. The CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to hear more from some Joplin teachers about how they're handling an increased workload. Plus, what a Missouri appeals court ruled about voters returning mail-in ballots in person, and how family friends came out to support a Quapaw, Oklahoma middle school student who's returning home after battling cancer. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Take another quick look at our KOAM News Now Insta poll. We asked which side will benefit most from the mute button on the debate tonight. So far, 21% say Donald Trump, 79% say Joe Biden. You do still have time to vote at KOAMNewsNow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. We're going to have a final result on that poll on KOAM News at 6. Checking back in now with Doug Heddy. Warm evening, Doug.
Yeah, it's going to be warm, it's going to be windy, but eventually late this evening into the overnight hours, especially after midnight, some showers, some thunderstorms will start to get going. I don't think anything too strong or severe, but a cold front's going to pass through. So we're going to drop into the 40s and hang out with kind of a cold rain, especially tomorrow morning. Highs about 47.
Wow. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 6. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.